Hey YouTube, I'm going to do something which might be stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is possibly the best guitar I've got, but Ibanez RG530 from 1986, 1987, 1986, G86, so whatever it is. The thing that I always complain about with this guitar is these pots, which are push for coil splitting. I don't know if I can I get the angle of this so you can actually see it. Maybe. Nah, no. But the thing is that, see, unlike a pen, when you can tell when it's on or off, it doesn't. It looks the same whether it's on or off. So what I'm going to do, I've actually bought. I see it pops back to the same position. I'm going to unoriginalize the guitar, which might be a silly idea. I'm just going to make sure these knobs fit. Yeah, they fit perfectly. And I'm going to put in standard push-pull pots. So when it's down, it's humbuckers. When it's up, it's single coils. I can just look at it and go, we're on single coil, rather than sitting having to podge away with it. I did a similar thing with the Red Star. With that. But I think I would just play this guitar more if it didn't have that. Every time I keep looking at it and going, I've just put new strings on it. I don't use it enough, partly for that reason. So starting off, these are not new pots. These have both been used before, but I don't know what they came out of. So I've got an A500 and a B500. So it tells you on the top there. B's for volume, A's for tone. There are other ways you can do it. Other people think other things, but that way works well for me. It means that the volume control goes all the way down to nothing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the side of the pot to the earth, to the lug one. I'm just going to use a wee bit of guitar string, which I'm sure I just put one in the bin a minute ago. Something like that. And I'm basically just going to stick that onto there, and it's just a neater way of doing it, just using a chopped off bit of guitar string. So first thing I'm going to do is get myself a wee file. I tried to live stream this. I set it up. Stu started watching me, but it started saying bitrate things, and what I was looking at was like really, it was really out of sync, like about 10 seconds late. So I could show you and go like, look at this, and then 10 seconds later it would show you that. So that's not really any use. There will be a way of doing it, or maybe have another wee go at it. I didn't realise it was actually going to go live quite as quickly as it did. I was kind of just testing it out. So what I'm doing here is I'm just roughing up this bit of the side of the pot so I can get the solder to stick to it, and then I'm going to get the solder to stick to that. I'll use the Stuart's new nice smelling solder. So I'm just going to solder this onto the casing here. So I'm putting solder on the actual pot. And this is going to be my earth. I'll probably run another earth along the top, but for now. So what I'm going to do here is, alright, hold on, which one is this? This is the B500, that's fine. That's why I was going to say that this one hasn't been used properly. That's because it's a tone control. Oh, sugar. Well, I'm going to have to pause this because I've just realised what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I don't need an A500 at all, because that's a tone pot. This guitar has 2 volumes and 1 tone, so I want the 2 volumes, so I need another B500, which I might not have, which means this video, I'm going to pause it just now, but it might not come back on again because I might not have the other pot. Rock on. Found one. So I've now got 2 B500 pots. That was a good one. This was a scratch plate that was off my my psychedelic guitar at some point. So I've got that Warman lipstick pickup, which I've not decided what to do with yet. This one has a 4-way rotary switch in it and 2 3-way switches with wee plastic tops on it, which I quite liked. But that was when you get to the point of, I was using it as a guitar. I took it to Download Festival. I was using it as a sort of camping type guitar, and really, you don't want that many options on a guitar. It's like it must have had 100 sounds in it or something. It just got too confusing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick, as I said, I'm going to put this bit of guitar string through this. And what do I always say? I always say you want to put solder on the thing first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch up this with this wee file here, so I can get solder to stick to it, and then I'm going to stick solder to it. This is me just doing the earth, the grounding lug 1. If I do that, and this is where I burn myself because I'm obviously holding a piece of wire, and at the same time, yeah, so I mean, it doesn't take much just to get the solder to stick to it, just so it breaks the surface tension or something like that. So now what I'm going to do, no, I'm not going from the front, we're going from the front, going from the front, in like that, bang bang, there's that blob that I put on a second ago. I can probably lower this down a little bit, actually. I have the technology. So that's that rock solid there, and then I'll just, if there's enough solder there to go around it, which there kind of isn't, a bit more on. Yeah, putting more solder on this so it's definitely solid as I can get it. Boom. And that should be that. Very solid. That's a little bit cloudy. I wonder if I give that a wee bit of a thing. Bad solder's meant to be cloudy. If you can get it shiny's better. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Nothing else has to go into this pot. Well, actually, should I bend this round and put it onto the... Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe if I put this down a bit lower, maybe get a closer view. So the way these pots work, this one's got a wire on it, right? So when it's in the down position, which it is here, see that's the down position, that's the up position. In the down position, it connects these middle two, or this one to this one, and this one to this one, and then when you pull it up, it connects this one to this one and this one to this one. So I'm only going to be using half this switch. I won't use half of it. So what I'm going to do is basically, if I take the coil split wire and put it to the middle lug, and I make this earth, that'll earth it out quite easily. So on this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bit of wire here, and I'm just going to bend it and stick it straight on there. That's basically just putting the earth. So if I just do that, and it keeps it, try to keep it as neat as possible. Maybe if I bend it round there and then under that one, I'll kind of hold it while it dries, won't it? Put extra solder on that. This is not a new pot, as you saw. Yep. So if I kind of put it behind that, it will stay in place there while I solder this wire here on, with this bit of basically guitar string, just metal. It conducts electricity. It's fine. It's neat. Yep. And then I need me snips, which I don't know where they are. Yep, going by feel. There we go. Them. So if I just go in here and snip that right there, we've now connected earth, and I'm going to put the tap wire on there. I'm just doing this before I go into the guitar. And this one is definitely a B500. Going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to rough up the edge with this, just so I can get the solder to stick to it, somewhere around about there. Don't want it to go into that hole, that might block things up. So try and keep it up here. I'm assuming, of course, this is going to work. I can't really remember how the Ibanez pots, the push ones, are like an old technology. They hadn't quite nailed down that this is how you do it by that point. I'm pretty sure they only do one thing. And this one, it'd be quite possible to you do split both pickups with the one switch. So I just had you'll pull it up and then it's two single coils, whereas I think the Ibanez ones, if I remember correctly, only have like half the switch. I don't normally like using half the switch because I feel there's another half of the switch I'm not using. I could be using that. So again, I'm just scratching off the sort of surface, making it a bit, using this wee crappy file, just so I can get the solder to stick to it easier. And I'll just do exactly the same as what I did with that one. It doesn't take long to put solder onto a wire like this. You just it doesn't need to have tons of solder sticking to it, but if it's got some sticking to it, it means it's taken off the surface tension or some pish like that. I don't really know. And again, I'll go in through this hole here, bang, and then solder it on right there. There. Moved at exactly the wrong moment, didn't it? It'd be much more sensible to have your soldering iron on a bench rather than doing what I'm doing, which is just kind of having it on the floor. So the cable I've got really that runs from the floor isn't big enough. It's just that I like doing it like this way so I can sit and watch telly when I'm doing it. Yeah, so that's on there. I'm just going to do the same again with this, but that's maybe get that a bit better than that. There we go. That looks good. Still, it's not really actually wanting to stick to that. Solid now. I think I might go for that again at the end. We're going to do the same here. I'm going to put this on here and then just bend it round here so it's kind of holding it in place while I do this. Yeah, and I'm now going to solder that lug on. I'm going to definitely do that middle one again. I'm not happy with that. You can sometimes tell just the solder just by looking at it what's going on. It doesn't look very good. Where's my snippy dips? Yeah. So that was me just using a guitar string to connect, as I said, that one to that one, and then probably don't need the guitar string again. You can bend these out a wee bit, get them a bit more easier to get at. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. All good. Right, next. Go into the guitar and see what I've let myself in for. This will be damaging the value of the guitar, I suppose, a little bit. But it's like a technical thing. It's like I want this to be as good a guitar as it should be. I can raise this up again. Look at this technology. Yeah. This light thing I found, the light's not even on, but you can see, so I'm not really any point in having the light on, but it's good for holding the camera, and also I can raise it up and down, which is nice. 1, 2, we'll see what inside a Japanese 1986 Ibanez RG looks like. Just notice and see the back, see the way this thing's recessed. Just it doesn't need to be. It's much more expensive to do it that way. But this is a premium guitar. Made in a great fujigen factory. Where's my wee thing? Just to try and wedge that out without chipping it. There we go. So say these are funny looking pots. And they've only got 3 terminals in the back, but I don't like them. So basically they're coming out. Is there anything really that confusing going on? I don't think so. I'm going to unbolt them using my socket set, which is normally in below here. I can totally feel it with my fingers, but can't quite reach it. Yes, got it. Good old Halford socket set. I can't remember when I got that. I think I got it for Christmas about 20 years ago. Yeah. And I might even keep the original bolts. I'm going to keep these pots if anyone's want to buy them. Unless you're going to offer me stupid money for them, I'm just going to keep them. I was actually thinking what I could do is I could actually just leave them, wrap them up in tape and leave them in the guitar. So I'm just going to do this one at a time, I think. The way to go. What have we got here? What have we got here? Right, okay. So we've got, that goes to the switch, that's okay. Look, they've even done the same thing as me, using a bit of guitar string to connect that to that. This, I'd be tempted to say this isn't actually original wiring, this has been touched, but maybe not. I don't know. There's the earth wire, so I need to take that off. So I can get it out. Just heat that up. That should just come off. I need to remember to connect that back up again. And there's nothing else fancy going on here. Red and the white. The white is the tap wire. We're not focused. Come down a wee bit. Right, help it. Yeah, so I'm going to take off. Again, these are just earthed onto the chassis the way I did it. And that other pot, 1, 2. Right, so that is the pickup. And this is the wire that goes to the output. This is the wire that goes to the switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wire that goes to the switch on first. Thus, look at that. Okay, well, fix that, right. So this goes into the middle lug, which is the output. And this is the earth, goes to the earth. Put a wee bit more solder on that bit. Right. This is now going to the switch. That's good. That's good. Right. I do need to maybe put that earth wire back on again. I'll maybe not do it quite yet. So ibanez pot. Really all we need is the red, the white and the earth. The white is the tap. I'm going to keep saying, got a white tap on. So we know the white is the tap wire. And all it's doing is switching it to earth anyway, so it's not like a coil choice thing. Right, so there's the ibanez pot. Which I will be keeping and possibly wrapping it up in tape and putting it inside. Why is it not focusing on what I'm doing? Because it just doesn't want to. It's exactly the wrong focus depth. I'll lower it down. Let's focus, we'll lower it down a bit more. I think what it's doing is it's the reflection of the roof on that's putting it off. Right, so white is the tap, so I'm going to put white to the centre lug. I might snip that a little bit, make it a little bit neater. It's just a wee bit. Yeah, I think someone's been in this before, so I'm not actually breaking original wiring. I don't think. I think these are either replacements or someone's been in it, or it's very possible someone had other pickups in it. You know, Seymour Duncans or something like that, and then before they sold the guitar, they put the original one back in again. I have no desire to change these pickups because they're really good. So I'm quite happy just to leave these where they are. That's the pickup going into the pot, and then I'll put this onto the earth again, like the last one, like so. Like that, and then like what I was wondering about this is what sort of distance are we talking about? How long is the shaft compared to the new ones? It's kind of exactly the same, so I probably don't need any. Of these washers. I'll just use that original one that's still sitting down there. Right, so I'm gonna go put that on there first, am I? Yeah, I think I probably should. That's what the smell is. I've managed to catch one of my hairs on it. It's smelling like burning corpse. If you've ever, the last time you murdered somebody and set fire to their body, that horrible smell that you just never get rid of. And this should be a lot easier than this. What I'm not using is my special robust tweezers to do it. I'm going to put some solder on the end of this wire just so it's got tons to stick on. This will earth the whole guitar. This will just be the wire coming from the bridge. And then it will be going on to this here. And he waits, it's solid. Right, and this can just go down in here. Ooh, dum, dum, dum. Right, and I'm going to put on the washer and the screw, and then that's the one off the other pot. No, actually what I'm going to do while I'm in here is, because it's the only opportunity I've ever had to do this, before it goes in, I'm going to give that a bit of a wipe because it's a wee bit dirty, just to make it as clean as I can get it. The cleaner the guitar, the better. You can never get quite in at that unless you take the pot out. Right. Put it in. Everything looks good. Right, what I'm going to do now to make sure is if I put this knob on, that's perfect. But now, as you, I don't know if you can see, but now I can look at that and go, oh, it's in humbucker mode, it's in single coil mode. What a joy that's going to be. And the knobs fit perfectly, so. This was a different sized washer from this one, wasn't it? Maybe not. Oh, okay, it's a wee bit different. A slightly smaller one than that. Nope. That one. Tighten it up good and proper so it doesn't turn on its own right. I could actually check this before I go any further, but I'm just going to assume that I'm brilliant. I got it right first time. Put the knob on. Booyah. Now I've got a push pull. Right, so repeat exact same process for this one, but now I've got one that's wired what I think is correctly. Anyway, so just take all the wires off this bastard. Right. Apart from this one doesn't need the earth wire, so it doesn't have one. The one coming from the bridge. Maybe get a bit dark. I'll try to turn the light on. That'll make a difference. I'll try plugging the light in. Try turning the light on. Will it just make it harder to see? It don't make any difference at all, is it? It's just the same. It's a black control cavity, so that's what we're doing. Maybe if I put it around this way, you can see it. Sort of. Yeah. All I'm doing is taking all the wires off this because I can now remember what they are. But I think I might do the same thing again, as in take off the one going to the switch. Or I could do the exact opposite, not take off the one going to the switch. That's the one going to the switch there. There. And then the output wire there. Right, so that's the one going to the switch out. So, like the last one, I'll take off all these washers because I only need one for the top. And this time I won't just leave them sitting on top of the. Right. So this goes to the centre, and that goes to the earth. So if I want to poke that through that hole, which is not the longest of wires to do this with, but I will make it. I will survive. I'll do it that way. There we go. I put it through there first. Isn't that clever? There we go. That'll hold that a wee bit. Like that, and then solder down. Just Badinga, that's not particularly neat looking. It doesn't matter, it's my guitar, right? And then that one being the earth goes on there. So that's that one, the output and the earth on. So I could get that one a wee Bastard. I'm just double checking all these, and I'm not really that bothered about how neat they actually are. No, I do when I'm doing wiring myself, like a bucky cast or something. I'll use all new wire and make it all really neat. But this is my guitar. I don't care, as long as it's rock solid. So in this one, the pink one is the coil split wire. So the pink one goes to the switch. A bit more solder on that. It's a wee bit light. Lost the solder, lost this. A wee bit on that. Right. So I'm going to use this in the live stream tonight. I'm going to do a wee video. Probably I'll think about it tonight. What's the best of the Ibanez guitars I've got? Because I've restrung them all with the same strings. So we've got a good, and then the red one was the hot, goes to the lug 3. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, looking at them from the top. Oh, and then hold it on for just a fraction of a second longer than I did. Yep, so the lugs are numbered 1, 2, 3, even though when you're looking at them, they're normally upside down. And then that's the earth for the pickup. Goes on there. And I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? Nope, I want a wee bit more solder on that one. I'm sure that's fine, but I would rather it was just a wee tad more. Right. Obviously putting a wee tad more on has made me off, right? So I just heat that up, stick that to it. Right, and there are no other free wires in the guitar, so I think that's me. So if I run that round there, make sure you don't get anything stuck in below the pot. That happens quite a lot. You're sitting there screwing it up and it's like, oh, why is the seam awfully tight? And then, oh, I didn't give this one a wipe either before. It's a quick, the bit you can never get to. A wee washer, and then the bolt. Everyone's since I nearly set fire to the house the other week there. I've been very, very. I've just put the wrong washer on. Was this a different size one? Different from that other one. That'll piss off someone in the future. Right, and does the knob fit okay? I think I've turned off the solder now. Right, so does the knob fit on okay? I don't want them to be going down too far, because if they're actually touching the body, they might. Nah, we've got a millimetre. Right, so before I put the back on, I suppose I'll see if I'll make sure it's actually working. So bear with me a couple of seconds while the amp heats up, and I'll get a wire. I think my wee red cable, I might have a wee look at that. I've been getting crackles on different guitars, which means it's not the output jacks on the guitars. But I'm not willing to give up the Japanese red curly lead because I think it's cool. If we go to on, that noise, I think that's the. I don't think that's the output. I think that's my cable going. So neck pickup. So single coil, humbucker, bridge pickup, both in single coil. Smashing. So I'm gonna wonder how interesting. It'd be really nice to actually play this guitar or do a video on this guitar and not have to mention the fact that I'm really pissed off with the fact that you can never tell whether it's in single coil or humbucker mode without having to press each one at least once, because you can play it and go like that, but they're quite bright pickups, so it's like, it's not like the humbucker's pure beefy. It's like, you always have to press it to make sure. You go, oh, that sounds quite bright and single coily and clean. I better press the button to make sure, and then you press it and it goes, oh, it's even more clean. So you have to press it twice every single time you pick up the guitar. What I might actually do is, it's actually really disgusting me. I'll show you in a second. This has had a strap on it that's decomposed a little bit onto the body of the guitar, which you can't see because it's behind the strap, but or maybe it's actually coming out. Yeah, so it's got a wee bit of damage in the back of this guitar. But that is not so pretty, is it? That's like, it's not off this strap, that's off a previous strap. That's kind of rubbery shit, so I might get some solvent on that or clean it up. But to be fair, you can't actually see it, so I might just put it in. See, it's got these strap buttons, which are pretty cool, but they're so expensive. If you can find them, buy them new. My red one should have them as well. And I looked them up, and someone was wanting 50 quid for two of them. It's like, no. I will not be paying 50 quid for strap buttons, even though they're really cool. That's kind of getting close to it. That's half what I paid for the guitar. Yep. So, Ibanez RG, now fully. That might be the deciding factor of what the best Ibanez is. I'm going to put I'm tempted to write on it actually, because there's a paper thing there, right? So I wonder if writing RG530 on it's a good idea. Just so I know exactly what they are. RG530, and whatever I did with the other one, I'll do exactly the same, so I know not to sell these. That's what you get for having hair. RG530. Yep, okay, so just for that wasn't doing a job for anyone else, that was just for me. So I've now got 3 of these Ibanez pots. Offer me, I don't know, 100 quid for the 3 of them. You can have them. But someday, it's like one of those things, I often worry about these things, about how collectible the guitars are. And it's like, to be fair, this one is partly because, well, it's got a few things going for it. This guitar has the edge tremolo, which I've actually talked about before, but I don't think I've ever really showed you. So this is the first Ibanez with the proper Floyd Rose. But see, the reason it's called the edge, see the bit that the actual bolt sits on? It's a much harder piece of metal in there, so it's not made of the same metal as the actual casting. So it's got the edge tremolo. It's got this finish, which I don't know, is really. You can see the wood. It's got like charcoal grey to white round the edge. And even one of the other things I noticed was, see the edges. Normally when you've got binding, it's quite right angled, quite sharp. This one's got like a smooth, curved edge on it, but it's still got binding. This was not a cheap guitar to build, very much so. That's kind of why I would put that up against like the red one, and it's like the red one is much more basic. The problem is it's kind of the same, because they've still built it really well. It just doesn't have the fancy shit on it. This is 24 frets as well, so that's got to be a plus, I would have thunk. Rockin', cheers. See you on the live stream if you didn't. Well, this will be going out after. Oh, maybe I'll just put it up just now. 4:30. Maybe I will. I might put it. Fuck it, I'll do that anyway. See you soon.